So.
And this is a place normally where old Land Rovers rust?
Yeah, they always, this back floor and this back crossmember always fails.
Very common, okay.
That's the first thing that rusts out on a Land Rover.
Hello, we are Tim and Shannon from Planet Overland. And in last week's video, you saw us completely dismantling Reggie.
Reggie's grown 2 inches higher since we've taken everything out, unloaded him.
Now, poor Reggie is almost down to bare bones, so we can see what we need to repair and or replace.
Well, it's not as bad as I thought it'd be. Damn, this thing's heavy. Yeah, so the front looks good. This front side doesn't look too good, and this back side doesn't look good. And on the driver's side, it's just the back corner. When I was checking the back crossmember, the part I found worse was about from here to here, and that's where this panel was bad too. And you can see that the seam is pretty good all the way till about right here, and then it starts getting super wide.
Right.
It's because water gets in between there, and it rusts and expands, and then water obviously got down inside too because it's all corroded on the inside, mainly on just this corner. But that means you got to do the whole thing,
Right.
or you should do the whole thing, and I'm going to. So
Yeah.
the frame is, no problems at all, no rust, no anything.
Well, that's good.
I even inspected inside the channels, but there's a few spots on the body. But nothing too bad, nothing too surprising. The bodies on most of these older vehicles are easy. It's the frame you gotta watch. The worst part I've found is two spots in each fender that I gotta fix, and the back cross member is bad. I gotta replace it, it's really bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's even got rust that's already broken through. You can see it down here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was my screwdriver that went through that. And I was checking it, and so yeah, it's got to be replaced. But it's not too hard of a part to replace. So yeah, that is good. So I'll order a new one and get it patched. It hasn't gone past that edge, so I'm thinking I can grind it all away and maybe even weld a new lip on it. But we're also doing something a little bit different, so I might be able to change it anyway. I cleaned up a lot of this.
Oh, looks a lot better.
That was all filled with mud,
Yeah.
dirt. Okay, it looks better than I thought it would. It's dirty, but there's no rust. And it seems pretty clean. So, more good news. Sides are off. It looks clean. No rust. It's pretty good shape. But I need to get the other side off and then clean it up to see totally. But it's looking good. So this is one of the dumbest things they ever did on a Range Rover. So I unbolted the back and pulled this apart, It wasn't this easy to get it apart the first time because this is a piece of this band and I had to break it and cut it off. But this piece of foam holds moisture inside the cavity. So I ripped the foam out. And you can see the foam is wet.
Yeah.
But I ripped the foam out, but it makes all this bottom part rust. Luckily, we're in pretty good shape. The only thing that looks like it was the casualty was the metal strip that goes across here to bolt the aluminum panel on. But I got to get that out. It's just totally rusted. Huh. So we lucked out because that's usually a problem spot. And this is an air flap, which I'm taking off
it's an
now.
Air flap.
That when you close the doors, it goes poof. So you don't get that pressure inside the vehicle. It's all dirt.
So, was that under the thing that went right here?
Uh-huh.
Are you gonna get new taillights for Reggie, or put the old ones back on?
Yeah, they're in really good shape. This is after I dusted them off. So I need to...
Do you think most of that's from Australia, from that bull dust?
Probably.
Looks super fine.
Yeah, a lot of dirt in there.
It's crazy weird how...
But it's, yeah, they're dirty inside too. So, but they're in good shape. So I can polish them up, clean them, and they'll be fine.
Okay, what are you doing now?
Taking apart all the lights, and I'm going to clean them.
These are the backlights?
Uh-huh. And they're actually all in very good shape.
What is that thing?
This is the foam gasket. And even it's in really good shape. Not torn, it actually feels like new. It's really good.
And this one, you've kind of cleaned already?
Well,
Where's the one that's red?
I cleaned off, I sprayed off the back. This is after marking all the dust, at least dusting it.
Oh. So they're pretty dirty.
Yeah, but they're in good shape.
So if you had to replace one of these, you could just get it online, but how much would it be?
They're, for the whole assembly, I think the cheapest I found was about $150, $160.
For one light?
For this assembly, yeah, one light.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank goodness Reggie's is good.
Yeah, they look good.
This isn't something that you paint with the anti-rust thing.
No.
No.
I think it's cast aluminum.
Hmm.
Man, it doesn't want to come out.
Tim under Reggie. Got all our tools laid out. Just kind of tailgate off. Look at that. Oh, I like this wide lens.
I know, it's nice. So today we're gonna fix a couple things. Yesterday I did all the body mounts and it was pretty good. It worked out all right. There was a couple that were pretty squished and rotting, but we got them all off. I only had to cut one in the back. Since there's 10 body mounts, I did 8 out of the 10. The 2 in the back I've left off because I'm replacing the rear cross member. Today we're gonna strip the axle out and see where it goes from there. When you pull a Land Rover fender off or side panel off, you need to cut this glue. The best way to do it is just a razor blade and go right down the bottom, across, and do as best you can right down here as well. These spots are really glued together. So once you get that off, and you get the 2 bolts here, 2 bolts underneath in the fender, and then 1 bolt down here on the mud flap, and then you have 5 rivets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last part is these screws. They're Phillips head steel screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You get those out, and then the best place to pry them apart is in this notch right here. You pry right here, and once this starts to pop, the whole thing starts to go, and it'll pull off. This one was glued on really well. Some practically fall off. And of course, once the side panel's off, you can see all the beautiful mud and rust. There's a lot of dirt in here. You always try and wash that out, but you never get it all. This actually looks extremely well. I'll clean it up and coat it, but it looks really good. No rust. It's very clean.
What were you saying?
This is the only rust I found that I don't like.
On both sides or just this side?
Just this side. The other side is perfect. And I don't exactly know what to do. I could cut it out right here. Okay. The bottom, the fender part is totally solid. It's mainly this top piece. Okay. And I could cut this little strip out, prep it all, and then weld it across there. I've separated the panels a little bit without cutting the welds. Some people say just shove pour 15 into the crack and seal it up as well as you can, but I'm almost tempted to cut it out. And it had some rust right here, but that was, we caught it in time. It didn't really do much.
Oh, good.
So that was good. The other side was perfect. There's not anything at all, but this side is okay. Yeah. This side, all I did was put seam sealer along the edges, but there was no rust or anything on this side. Huh. It was all solid.
That's good. Hey, what are you doing in our kitchen sink?
My parts washer.
You're washing all your parts in the kitchen sink. Ooh, that's hot water.
Yeah, my parts, very hot water parts washer.
And you're going to wash every part of Reggie in the sink?
Only place I got.
At some point or another?
If it's big enough, it'll be in the bathtub.
What's that?
Cleaner. Okay. Kitchen cleaner.
And is this like a once in a lifetime thing?
No.
No? You should do this like often? How often should people do this to their old classic cars?
Depends on, well, it's a maintenance thing. It depends on how long you want your car to last.
Okay, now what are you doing on my kitchen counter?
Cleaning parts. It's a weak wet rust remover. Could have a little bit of rust on some of these stuff, so I'm stripping it. Actually, it's foaming up good on this piece.
What? Foams? Jelly.
It's hydrogen peroxide for metal. Clean parts. See, took all the rust off.
Oh, wow. Why are you grinding it?
It's got a little teeny spot on it. I should grind off. When you grind on them a little bit with the grinder, or actually it's a big, stiff, heavy wire brush. Parts that can be painted.
Okay, this is the mess that is Reggie. So I didn't come down here yesterday, but looks like Tim's been busy. He's got his tools all spread out all over the floor. brought down the parts that he cleaned. They look amazing. They used to be black and a little bit of rust. He says actually there's not a whole lot of rust, which is good. And he's been cleaning, and I think he's gonna paint today or tomorrow. He said paint everything with this black rust proof coating. But yeah, that's poor Reggie. Thank you so much for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed and or learned something from it. Please give this video a like if you could, and comment down below if you have any questions on what we're doing to Reggie or restoring Land Rovers in general. And consider subscribing to our channel if you are not already. And finally, stay tuned for the next Reggie Rebuild video, where Tim removes the rusty cross member and pimps out the rear axle.
Okay, turn it off now.